Okay, let's see where we are here. Good morning, everyone. We have a good morning screen. All right, Anna. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, where are we today? Big day. Who's moving in?
Well, we have to go find somebody.
Okay, where do we go?
We all moved out. I will walk you past the open parcel of land.
Well, let's go see it. What does this vacant lot look like? Now, who left? Sly and the Family Stone?
Yes.
And what kind of villager was Sly on your island?
He was a jock.
So the male-female ratio is down in there, and you lost a jock.
Oh, and I bought a bunch of shamrock sodas yesterday. I'm going to see if they go over better than the shamrock rug.
The shamrock rugs were the things that your villagers looked at and said,
Yeah, pretty much. Shit.
Isn't that the same outfit from yesterday?
I haven't gone back in to change yet, so yes it is. Will it let me bury this in the hole without a shovel?
Well, did you break your shovel?
I did.
So you crawled out of bed wearing the same clothes you wore yesterday?
I do have a spare shovel. I thought I did.
Well, I mean, as you do. Who doesn't carry around a spare shovel?
Alright, now we can bury them. Beautiful. Alright. Fit anything else on this table?
Okay, so just to recap, Anna's crawled out of bed, not changed her clothes, broke a shovel, and apparently is dropping, quote, Irish soda bottles all over her living room.
Eilish soda bottles?
Irish soda bottles.
There you go.
That was my brogue.
Look how cute it is.
What, is this Little Mermaid wallpaper?
No, the little Irish soda. It's got like whipped cream. It has shamrock on the glass.
Is Irish soda a thing?
I mean, maybe not, but
We're talking about the wallpaper there, right?
that was Little Mermaid wallpaper. Not Little. It was mermaid wallpaper.
Yeah.
Could put my Irish soda in here, but I don't have any table space.
What about that dresser thing over there?
You can't put anything on top of that. Alright, so it sounded a little windy out today.
Are we going Festive Friday?
Festive Friday?
Yeah, Festive Friday. Yeah, like it's Festive Friday.
Is this festive enough? Or is this cultural appropriation? You tell me.
Okay, so the topic for today is cruising after COVID. What does that mean?
So, I have been listening to some cruise podcasts. And, there's a lot of questioning going on about whether, well, first of all, whether cruising will resume this year in any capacity. But also, what will it look like when cruising does come back? Are you going to be required to wear a mask? Will you be required to have a vaccine? Would you cruise if you were required to have a vaccine or if you had to wear a mask?
Just a reminder, it is water check. And since you're laying down, wiggle your toes. Check your posture. Are you laying back on the couch in a relaxed position? Just to relieve all your stress. I'll sit here in a chair with my proper posture, though. So here's, I guess, the first thing with cruising. My view is cruising is a bit of a luxury vacation, as I believe all vacations fall into the category of luxuries, correct?
Okay.
So if there's restrictions placed on it for the safety of other people, I don't think you can complain that it's a hardship to meet the hurdle, especially if the hurdle's not astronomical. Because again, it's a luxury item.
Well, I guess the question though is not, is it a luxury item? Is it something that you need to do? But will you do it under whatever the new guidelines might be? Like, will you return to cruising if you have to have a vaccination? Will you return to cruising if you have to wear masks at all times? I believe Royal Caribbean has a ship sailing in Israel. It's sailing at reduced capacity, but the mask requirement is only in places where you can't social distance. Like in the hallways as you're walking between, your stateroom and the dining room.
So is the option, if everyone has a shot, no one has to wear a mask?
I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but it could be.
So a lot of the cruise lines around the world are U.S. companies, but their ships are not U.S. flagged. They're not manned or staffed by U.S. people, either on the ship side or on the cruise side. I mean, they're very much not U.S. ships. They're international, things that just happen to be owned by a company that owns shares in the business here in the U.S. So whose laws do they have to follow? The law of every country where they dock?
Well, yeah, and that's another thing that they're talking about, that cruising is not going to resume in the capacity that we know it. You might be doing more cruises to nowhere or cruises to a company's private island where they can have some control over what the requirements are.
Well, if your private island is in the Bahamas, aren't you still going to have to follow the legal requirements of the Bahamas? Because there's Bahamian workers that bring those supplies there. Those workers don't live on the islands.
Actually, on Castaway Key, there are people that live there.
But not all of them.
Not all of them. But those that don't, a lot of them come from the ships. I also just want to say that Disney recently fired about 100 people who were apparently residents on Castaway Key. And they are encouraging Bahamian citizens to apply for the jobs there.
They fired U.S. citizens that were living in the Bahamas on Castaway Key?
I don't know if they were all U.S. citizens. I do know several of them were U.S. citizens that have posted in Disney Facebook groups and stuff. That some of their belongings were incinerated because they were kind of rushed out of there when COVID hit. So they left with what they could pretty much carry, and
And then what? Made replacement purchases and submitted a receipt to some Disney HR department?
I don't know how that went down.
Okay, so you want to go on a cruise. It's after COVID.
Yes.
I guess the first thing is, what country are you in and where do you want to go cruising? So let's assume you're in the U.S. and you want to take a very popular summertime cruise which leaves the U.S. and goes down to the Northern Caribbean or Eastern Caribbean, or no, Western Caribbean, which means it's going over to Cozumel, Senor Frogs, the Mayan ruins, and then coming back here to the U.S. You know, the 7-day Western Caribbean cruise.
Okay.
Okay. The ship can board in the U.S.
Yes.
And the ship could take its good old time to decide to let you in because the ship's sitting there docked all day.
Yes.
Okay.
And it sounds like so far the cruises that have resumed sailing, and again, none of those are in the U.S., they are requiring you to show up at the port with a negative test, and they are retesting you at the port.
Okay, so let's go through this step by step. Which port do we want to pick? Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Cape Canaveral? Pick the port.
Well, let's say Port Canaveral.
Okay, Port Canaveral, the easiest of the three. Okay, you show up at the Disney terminal. How are you going to maintain social distancing from where the bus drops you off or the valet takes your baggage to that walkway over the overhead to get into the screening x-ray machine before you ever get into the giant room where you wait in the big lines with the queue to check in and get your, your ID card and take your picture and stuff?
Yeah, well...
Is that not just a perfect example of social distancing? What?
I mean, that's the perfect example, right? Because you and I know, first of all, we've stood in line for a long-ass time in a relatively crowded space where there was no social distancing. We've also breezed through, but once you hit the terminal itself, it's packed with people. So they're talking about reinforcing the arrival times at the port. Now, you can pick your arrival time on at least Disney cruising and say you're going to arrive at 10 or arrive at 12 or whatever. One of the tactics they're going to use is they're going to enforce your arrival time, which they haven't really before. Buses are going to be restricted coming in. They're not going to allow bus backed up to bus backed up to bus.
But that just means the bus will be backed up in that parking lot where it makes the big turn off the highway further back.
Yes, but people won't be getting off of it and crowding into the terminal.
So we'll just turn a blind eye to the crowded bus as long as it's not in front of us at the terminal?
Well, is the bus going to be crowded or is the bus going to be social distance? Because if you go to Disney now and get on a Disney bus or a Magical Express, they're social distancing.
How?
They've reduced the capacity allowed on the buses.
How are they running more buses? We have been at a bus stop.
Don't forget, Jim, Disney is running at only 35% capacity right now.
Okay, so is that the basis now? Now we're going back to the cruise ship saying the cruise ship is going to sail with, a third capacity on board?
Maybe.
Does that mean a third of the decks aren't being used, or there's going to be less staff and they're only even numbered decks are going to have passengers?
I mean, it could be. It could be that they are booking every third room. They are spacing out tables in the dining rooms. I mean, maybe they add a seating time. Maybe they don't do the dining rotation and you stay in one restaurant the whole time. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like.
Okay, well, take an easy problem of all of these problems. How are you going to solve the golden Mickeys?
That's the easiest problem.
I said that, the easiest problem. How are you going to solve the golden
Mickey? It
Mickey?
is the easiest problem. You block off seats. You only allow seating every other row.
But if everyone on board the ship has already had their shots, why do we need to do that?
Well,
I mean, if we go back to boarding and embarkation and say, you can't get on board unless you have your shots, and we're going to test you at the terminal. Do we need to, can we fill the ship back up? Is it worth filling the ship back up? Or if you say, okay, the ship could be filled today to 100% capacity or 1/3. Both of those are going to keep some people away, aren't they?
well, why would having it only at a third keep people away?
Because it's going to look weird, feel weird. I don't know why a third would keep people. I know why 100% would keep people away.
Yeah, I would jump on a cruise that was a third capacity.
Over 100%,
Yeah.
or you would just jump on the cruise because it's a third. It's a cruise.
Well, I would jump on the cruise because it's a cruise, but also now there's none of that, everybody jammed up waiting to go into the dining room or trying to find a seat at the buffet. Which is another change that cruise lines have implemented. They're going to keep buffets, or the cruise ships that are currently running have kept their buffets, but now they're manned. You don't get to handle the utensils yourself.
So, can we call cruising an entertainment feature?
Sure.
Okay. Is Blockbuster coming back?
No.
Are movie theaters going to come back?
I mean, they're trying. They are back in some places.
Are you going to allow your daughters to go on a date to go to a movie theater?
I mean, if they're careful, and I think our kids are careful.
So you're going to let them go to a movie theater where there might be COVID, but there's definitely cooties on those big lounge chairs that never get cleaned on the backs.
Yeah. Probably one of the biggest drivers of lice in this country. Alright, so here's Sly's property. See,
Okay.
there's a little sale sign on it.
Could you move away from the sign so I can see it?
Well, I'm just up against it so you can read it. It
Oh,
says
okay.
spot available, looking.
Oh, Nook Inc. Okay. What does it say under it?
It doesn't really say anything.
There's like dots under it.
Yeah, 000A00XXO.
Is that supposed to be Braille under that?
I
Well, move in closer and look at it. What is it?
You can't look any closer at it than we're looking,
Go to the right or left? Huh,
except to
okay.
click on it.
All right.
But you'll see that all of the outdoor stuff is still here.
Yes.
His landscaping, his patio set,
Uh-huh.
which actually wasn't his. This was put here for somebody 3 villagers ago.
And that's one of the reasons Sly left you. Yeah, the landlord never cleaned up the shit from the previous tenant.
Well, I tried to give
Slumlord property.
I tried to give everybody something that suited them, but then as they move out, it's hard to go back and update everything.
Look, we all understand. Sly was your second or third child. They don't get taken to glamour shots for pictures anymore. Where'd you get that present from?
I just shot down a balloon.
Oh, I thought you were fishing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they're not liking these sodas either.
Maybe they just don't like carbonated beverages. Maybe they're sad because Sly left.
Definitely a possibility.
Sly could have been doing the outdoor safe distance yoga class. Okay, so how are you going to stand there and tell people at the sailing away party, back away from my kid? My kid's near the stage to see Mickey. You got to stay 6 feet back. I mean, there's just like every little thing. I mean, we've been on a few Disney cruises together and separately because your husband is so awesome, luckiest woman in the world. But you know, is the first are first time crew? Is that alone going to help solve the problem? Lower the ship down to a third and no first time cruisers. So you got people that are familiar with what a cruise ship is.
I don't think that's fair, because does somebody on their second cruise, but they haven't been on a cruise in 10 years, is that somebody that's going to be any more familiar than somebody who's brand new?
So first-time cruisers doesn't affect the. So is it up to the cruisers or is it up to the crew?
Whether you sail or not?
No. Whether or not keeping things safe.
I think it's going to be on everybody. I mean, like they're talking about now, you're going to be doing a virtual muster drill. There's not going to be an in-person muster drill.
Once they do that, there's going to be people just screaming bullshit whenever they try to bring it back.
Well, there are people screaming now that they don't think it's safe to do that. That people aren't going to watch it. Now you're relying on people sitting in their stateroom to turn the TV on and watch it. Or will it be done on like a virtual app kind of thing? Where you have to log into the app and then the cruise line knows that you're there.
I mean, literally, they could walk to every stateroom that's occupied, knock on the door, and ask you to show that you're there with your jacket and stuff on. But they don't ask you to put it on anymore.
Yeah.
Because what they found was... No, okay, why don't you have to put your jacket on anymore?
I mean, I don't know why.
I know why. Because the people weren't donning them properly. They had to put time and effort into donning them, and that delayed the muster drill, which pisses off everyone. People don't like the muster drill. It's unnecessary. I'm not booking a cruise on the Titanic. Why do I need a muster drill? And if cruising is safe, why do I need a muster drill? And if it's unsafe, survival of the fittest, I don't know. But the thing with the life jackets was people were taking them and then not stowing them properly back in the lockers. And it required the cruises to pay their attendants time to go to every single life jacket, pull it off the shelf, check it, and put it back up. And it just comes down to, wait, we can have the people inconvenienced for a muster drill, but if the cruise line has to pay extra for their crew to work to recheck all these life jackets, then maybe we could change that. It's a cost thing.
I mean, you don't know this factually unless you've just Googled for some reason why they no longer have them.
We've had this conversation before. We've looked it up in the past, and it's been a topic for many times because as a sailor, I do not understand the purpose of the muster drill. If the purpose of the muster drill is to have a serious education opportunity for people, then why aren't they donning their life jackets? Why aren't they even cut donning them, they cut bringing them. They don't even have you bring them with you down to the muster station because they weren't getting put back in the closets properly.
I don't know if that's the case. I would imagine, we have been on deck at a muster drill in Florida in 90 plus degrees where you're crammed in, person on top of person. It literally is a sardine can. Are people passing out? Why are you going to have this extra protection on that really isn't necessary in the moment and risk somebody fainting at the muster drill?
We've been at muster drills where the entire passenger and crew has had to wait for the one family that just doesn't show up? Why? That's just like, why can someone not even do that? And do you think those people are going to act differently now because of COVID? Is somehow 1/3 capacity on a cruise ship? You have to have your COVID vaccines. We're going to test you at the terminal the day of sailing. Is that going to stop ignorant people or lazy people?
I mean, no, it's not. But also, I mean, I think the questions that people are raising who are in favor of the in-person muster drill really refers to these people that don't care. Like, okay, you're not going to make everybody go to a muster drill when shit hits the fan and there is an emergency. What's going to happen to these people that are not prepared? Are they going to cause
Can I stop you there?
For the rest of them?
Can I stop you there? Okay, did you just say that a muster drill prepares you for an emergency?
I would say it prepares you in the capacity of knowing where your muster station is.
Do you think that somebody's going to remember they're at muster station 13 or F?
Well, I mean, at least on Disney it's printed on your card, so. Oh my god.
Okay, and what happens if there's an actual emergency and I show up at muster station Minnie instead of Mickey? Does the crew in the emergency tell me to board? Or do they sit there Titanic and look at me and go, women and children first, Mr. Astor?
No, I think now they have more lifeboats than they have people. They have more space than they have people.
Then what's the point of the muster drill then? If I can just show up to any boat in an emergency and get my ass off that ship to safety onto the...
So that there's some kind of organization, so that they have to have an emergency plan in place. It's the same as, at your house where they tell you during fire safety week at school that your family should be practicing a fire safety drill. What happens in your house if there's a fire? What is your plan?
Can I have some Thin Mints with that order there, Girl Scout?
No, I mean, they do it with kids every single year. Do parents follow through at home? I mean, we never really did.
Oh my God, yes we have. And the kids sort of make fun of you because it's like, it's just this awkward kind of thing.
Yeah, well.
And what about the people who don't want to scare their kid, making them think that their house is going to catch fire?
I'm just saying, yes, I think that there is some benefit to the muster drill.
Okay, hold on. Pre-COVID.
Do I think that benefit can't be obtained watching it on the TV in your cabin? No, you can still get it.
Pre-COVID, okay? You had a cruise book in December 2020 for our vow renewal. How was Megan going to handle the muster drill?
Oh, she would have freaked out.
Over what? It's
Having
just
to be packed in those crowds.
she's afraid of crowds or just afraid of ships?
She just doesn't. Well, she hates the idea of being on a ship, but yeah. Also, she doesn't want to stand in a crowded spot. Jesus. Oh my God.
What was the oh my God for? Double Fossil Tuesday?
I've missed this clam. There was a clam here. And I missed it. I don't know what I did.
You're too cruise distracted.
I'm cruise distracted.
Okay, so is 1/3 cruise ship capacity a possibility, or is it just a pipe dream?
I think it's a possibility. And I think cruise lines have come out and basically said, we need to have at least 1/3 capacity to break even.
This is the kicked off his ship pirate guy?
This is not the pirate one, this is the regular sailor.
So Gulliver's the captain of the ship or just a sailor on the ship?
Gulliver is the captain.
Washes overboard, the crew doesn't even notice, just keeps on sailing.
Pretty much.
Ironic that we're talking about cruise ships and there's a... Okay, the 1/3 capacity on a cruise line. You've been at Disney now all year long. Are people social distancing? Weren't you on a Disney ferry boat?
Yes.
Or what? Paddle boat? Is it a paddle boat?
A ferry that goes across to the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, but isn't it a paddle boat or is it a straight?
Ferry. They call it a ferry.
Okay, so you've been on board a Disney ship or Disney sailing vessel. How did people handle social distancing just on that thing?
Okay. I've been to Disney multiple times since the park reopened in July. I have been on the ferry in the very beginning where not only were people very cautious and socially distant, but the cast members were very diligent in making sure that there was social distance maintained. And then I went a couple of months later after the park had been open for a few weeks, and it very much was not that way. There was not as much diligence on the part of the cast members. People were not maintaining social distance. Everyone is masked, so I think to an extent that helps.
So again, just a happy Friday shout out to everybody that's watching and listening. And Anna, do you still need a villager?
Yes, I haven't gone. I have to go to another island to find a villager.
Okay, so if somebody has, what do they have to have that if they could offer it for you to come check out?
They would have to have a villager in boxes.
What about a villager in a tent?
Yeah.
Didn't you get a street organ yesterday?
Yes.
Wait, what? All right, are you taking that? Because I'll
Yes,
pause you.
I'm taking-
No, there have actually been 10 people watching so far. Bridget doesn't see the number of people who aren't registered. She only sees registered with accounts. But please tell her to keep watching. We need the viewers. Hey, we just found out we have a viewer that has called in. They dialed 1-800-CRAZY-KID and they got
She
connected.
said the clacking on the keyboard is so distracting, and the conversation that has nothing to do with what's on the screen is ridiculous.
Is it? Ask her if she can hear the clacking of the keyboard now as I type this message.
I've hung up the phone, huh?
Okay, well, let's see if she...
You didn't know I hung up the phone because you're clacking on the keyboard.
Well, I mean, I could get a quieter keyboard, but then I'm not going to. So, shut up, Bridget. That microphone that you have over there, Anna, picks up like everything in the house. I physically turn mine off when
you're clacking your keyboard.
Yeah, and it still picks it up over there. It actually still picks up my voice too. It's just we could literally just call this channel Shut Up Bridget. People would come watch it just to find out what's going on. Okay, and what did we learn yesterday about fossils?
Okay, so we didn't really learn anything. I know they can be displayed. I just don't know how they're being displayed in the ground. Let's see what fossils we have. We have a skull.
Space Beast, good morning. This is our Anna's doing Animal Crossing New Horizons. She needs a villager on her island, and we're talking about cruising after COVID.
Okay, here's my skull.
That's a dinosaur skull.
Okay, well, that's sort of the fossils that you find.
Okay, but I would think that if you lined it up with its body parts side by side, shouldn't it make a big thing?
Yes, that's not the point. The point is how are... Oh, wait a minute.
Posture check, remember to sit up, and remember, water check, grab a drink. Water. Rum and Coke on the rocks counts.
There we go. I did it.
Touch and or wiggle your toes check. You did what?
There's the skull. You drop it, you don't place it.
Okay, Anna, so we have a vote for Jack Daniels and Coke instead of just water or rum and Coke, or rum and on the rocks. What is your favorite drink, Anna?
I like fruity drinks. I like Malibu Bay Breeze or Tequila Sunrise. A fruity sangria.
What about Amaretto and 7?
I can't drink that anymore because it has bubbles.
So you prefer fruity drinks without bubbles in them?
Correct.
Do you know what my favorite drink is?
A Long Island iced tea.
Yep. A mild non-alcoholic drink. You order it and don't watch the bartender make it. It makes it non-alcoholic. Does Bridget have a favorite drink?
I do not know.
That's funny. Space Beast just bought a bottle of Amaretto for later. What can you make with an Amaretto besides Amaretto and 7?
I would think there's a lot of things you can make with Amaretto.
Do you pour it over ice cream? Amaretto and Coke. Well, I mean, that's just replacing the 7 with Coke. I don't know. We've sailed with Bridget. Do we know what her favorite drink would be?
I mean, when we sail, we do like the drink of the day. So.
You know what? That's a really good topic right here. When you're sailing, we have to do the drink of the day. What is the drink of the day that we have to do?
What do you mean, what is the drink of the day that we have to do?
Yeah, exactly. What is the drink of the day? Someone's never sailed before. They want to know what is the drink of the day.
It's the same as the soup of the day. It changes every day.
So the soup that's included for free with my dinner, the drink of the day is included?
No alcoholic beverages are included on a cruise ship.
Unless you buy one of those cruises with that alcohol pass?
A package, yeah. Some cruises have a package.
So the drink of the day is, there's usually an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic drink of the day.
I mean, Disney at the dinner usually has 2 alcoholic choices and a non-alcoholic choice. Some other cruise ships just do 1.
But we order them all. so that everybody gets a taste of it, or if they're, they can, and then if they want another one, we can order another one later. It's a great way to be an alcoholic on a cruise, or a great way to sample things.
I mean, it's a good way to sample things. They're drinks that you might not know to order. We had one time, even your mother, who was not a drinker, I think it was called a dirty banana, but it was basically like a chocolate-covered banana is what it tasted like. And it was really, really good. But it's not something that I would have ever heard of to know to walk into a restaurant and ask for it.
Well, the other benefit of the drink of the day is that it's literally, gallons of it ready to insta-serve. So, if we had gone cruising with your mother and Bob, would they have done the drink of the day?
No. First of all, they liked what they liked. They were very much Crown and Ginger people.
So they wouldn't have, neither of them would have deviated?
I don't think so.
I would think your mother would have, because she would have been more party-ish with you.
I mean, you can still have a good time and not have the drink of the day. Just drink what you usually drink.
Well, this is a good time to remind you that when you're cruising, don't go cruising with Anna's mother-in-law, because she'll look at you scornfully for ordering the drink of the day. The moral of the story there is what? Don't cruise with assholes? Okay, so since we're talking about cruising with COVID or after COVID and liquor, okay, can you tell us about the watermelon guys?
The watermelon guys that came running across the dining room looking for you?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's basically the story. You made it a point to order the drink of the day every day. We were on a Carnival cruise ship.
And the shot of the day.
We were on the Carnival cruise ship, and the waiters saw you at your table, knew you would have the drink of the day. The drink was something that they actually served out of a watermelon, I believe.
These two guys were awesome. They yelled across the dining room. What did they yell?
Mr. Jim. Screaming across the dining room. Mr. Jim, Mr. Jim.
Yep, and they came over and they said, how many? And we said, one for everybody. We didn't even know what it was. But that's a great cruise story about a drink. We don't even know if anybody even finished them. They all take a taste of it, though. Is COVID going to kill that kind of fun, post-COVID cruising?
I mean, we weren't sharing it with people that we didn't know. We shared it among our family. Our whole family at this point is vaccinated.
Okay, but on that cruise, our family was 5 plus 1, 6, and the other 2. Our family was 8 people. We bought tickets for 8 people to cruise that cruise.
Okay.
Okay, so Space Beast has a comment. COVID has killed all the fun, or will kill all the fun. Do you agree with that?
I don't think it'll kill all the fun. I think for sure it's going to change the way we do things, but I don't see how it's going to change things like, the drink of the day. You can still order the drink of the day in the restaurant. You can still go to bingo. You're just going to be spaced out a little bit at the bingo room.
Who is the driving force or the largest voice trying to put cruising back on the table? Is it the cruise industry, or is it Diamonds International, or is it the passengers?
It's the cruise industry, first and foremost, but it's all of these places, like, the governor of Alaska, who's trying to make it so that cruise ships can return to Alaska without having
Jones
to go
Act.
through Canada. Because there are a lot of port businesses in Alaska that need people. You know, not just the Diamonds International. It's, you know, the panning for gold. It's the come visit our glacier. It's the little museums. It's the Alaskan crab fishing boats that we're taking people out. But that's the same in a lot of these port excursion stops.
All right, so Space Beast made a comment. The people who want cruise lines back is all of the travel industry. But are you counting the stevedores and the longshoremen on the docks in Alaska as part of the travel industry? Are those people suffering because the cruise ships aren't there every day?
I would think so.
So if cruising goes back to Alaska and it doesn't dock, but it lets you see the glaciers, is that helping Alaska at all?
It's not. I would say that's more detrimental to Alaska than anything, because now they're getting all of the environmental issues without any financial benefit at all. I mean, they can obviously charge to go through Alaska, but
and they do. They sell the Alaskan. Okay, how many? What is the Alaska cruise bidding system?
I mean, they only allow a certain number of cruise ships each season.
And they go out to bid for who does the most for, you know, putting people on board, you know, jobs for those, like the guy that walks around or the girl that walks around and teaches your kid how to hold up their hand and learn the 5 types of salmon.
Yeah.
Those are all jobs.
Yes.
Okay, so a bigger picture question. Who are the people who are not suffering during COVID right now? Are restaurants suffering?
Yes.
Even the restaurants that are saying they're booked doing tons of takeout orders?
I would say that not all restaurants are suffering in the same way. I mean, is McDonald's suffering?
Well, I would think the people who worked on third shift at McDonald's near the Turnpike exit, because they aren't open for a third shift anymore.
Yeah, all of that is legitimate.
But send your frogs down there on your Western Caribbean cruise.
Suffering.
I would wonder if they're even open. I mean, what is their local clientele at all?
Yeah, and I don't know that.
And no one's going on those Mayan tours or going to the butterfly exhibit.
Yeah, nobody's doing the, you know, the pirate tour or the rum factory tours.
Oh my God, we missed those. But is it reasonable to have a conversation about those people when there's still medical issues and life and death issues going on with COVID? Are there people out there who are saying, why are you even talking about cruising with COVID? There's people still dying.
Yeah, because as you said, cruising is a luxury. It's an entertainment. It's not something that's necessary.
Your microphone is muted. Her mic's muted. Wait, what did you catch?
An Oar Fish.
Is that brand new?
No.
Hey, Gene, how you doing? No, not at all. What's up?
That.
All right, Anna, we're back. So what was that fish? What?
An oar fish.
And what is an oar fish?
It's a seasonal fish. They're not terribly easy to catch.
Aren't all the fish as easy to catch as are there different difficulties to catch the different fish?
Yeah, carps are very easy to catch.
Well, I haven't seen any fish escape from your line, like to break your rod or anything.
Sea bass are very easy to catch. Yeah, so I wanted you to look this Boris guy up.
For what?
Personality type.
Where did you get a Boris guy from?
Well, I didn't get him. He's over there.
Oh.
He's the villager on this island.
Oh, you're on a different island. Marshall is a tier 1 smug squirrel with the highest popularity. What does that mean? People want Marshall or everyone has Marshall?
People want Marshall.
Okay. Who's voting on this? You know, that maple that you were offered yesterday is tier 2, number 1, very popular. There's a lazy squirrel called Filbert. Have you thought about doing an all-squirrel island?
I have no idea.
That's too squirrely of an idea. Bones or Boris?
Boris.
Bones is a lazy dog. Shep is a smug dog. You could do an all-dog island. Apparently there's a lot of hamsters.
That's why we need microphones.
That's why we mute microphones from time to time. We don't mute, however, when the dogs are barking outside because that's him singing or something.
Alright, what did you find out about Boris?
Okay, calm your horses. I'm still looking down the list here for Boris. So we're already into tier 4. About to go into tier 5.
Who even knew there was a tier 5?
I don't know. Boris might be the only one in tier 5. How many different islanders are there?
I don't know, 300-400?
Wow. And it's completely random which ones you get. Can you get an all tier 1 island? I guess people would have to tell you who's leaving their island. Okay, now I'm into tier 6, the least popular. Walt, the cranky kangaroo. Klaus, the smug bear. Cesar, the cranky gorilla. Tell me if you have any of these people. Sheldon, Gasto, Bettina.
I did have Bettina. She was
Wart
one of my
Jr.,
first.
Frigga, Derwin, Callie, Kevin, and Hopper, the cranky penguin.
No, the only one of those I've ever had is Bettina. She was one of my first villagers.
Okay. Lucha, Doc, Eloise, Tybait, Sylvia, Axel, Leopold, Peggy, Anacati, Buzz. Number 23 on tier 6, Sly, the jock elevator. Alligator. Elevator. So you got rid of a tier 6 when you got rid of Jock. Jock? No, Sly. When you got rid of Sly. There's a lot of kangaroos in here.
Yeah, I don't have a kangaroo.
There's horses in here. I haven't seen you with a horse on your island.
Well, again, Jim, you can only have 10 villagers, so... Alright, well, it doesn't sound like I'm going to take...
Hold on. Let me just find them on the list. I mean, obviously I could have misread and missed it on the name. And here it is, Boris, number 109 on tier 6. Cranky Pig. They are down from number 93.
Alright, well, and he's not even cute, because cute is...
And the list only goes to 141. Boris is one of the least, is the... What number is Boris again? 109. So Boris is one of the 25 least favorite animals on Animal Crossing right now. Sounds to me like Boris needs some love. You gonna help Boris get a home?
I just left him.
You know, the people who say they don't want a hug might be the people who need a hug the most. Unless they really don't want a hug and then don't hug them.
Okay, some people say it's better to leave the airport and then come back in, that you might get a better island than if you just go right back to the counter. I haven't seen where that's true, but...
Well, we'll see right now. Let's see what you got. You were offered Boris, the Cranky Pig. Tier 6, number 109. My thing is, since it's a luxury, you have to be vaccinated. Have your little vaccine passport, which doesn't exist yet either. They test you the day of the terminal, and they do 1/3 for just social distancing. Because you're going to have people still, and then at that point, you're taking your own chances.
Alright, so this is Bamboo Island.
How do you know it's Bamboo Island?
Because there are no trees, it's just bamboo and some kind of chicken.
You've been here before?
Yes.
Okay, so we're here just to talk to this
There are only
chicken?
so many mystery islands.
This is a mystery island?
These are all mystery islands that you go to.
Okay, so what's her name? Plucky?
Lucky.
Plucky Ducky?
I would say she's a chicken.
Plucky?
Plucky.
Ugh. Yep.
I have a chicken.
Plucky. Plucky.
Plucky.
Oh, Pluc. Here it is, Plucky. Plucky is a sisterly chicken, number 113 in tier 5. So, Plucky.
Right, and I already have a chicken.
Plucky? Plucky.
Yes.
CKY. Okay, tier 5, number 113. A sisterly. Okay, what does it mean to be sisterly? They're going to give you gifts better? That's their decorating style?
No, that's their personality.
Okay. So for all those joining, thank you for coming in. We're talking cruising after COVID with Anna, the travel guru and expert. While she's playing on her Animal Crossing New Horizons island, where she needs a new villager. So if you're here to talk cruising, feel free to post any comments, questions. And if you happen to play Animal Crossing New Horizons and you have a villager in boxes, or someone in a tent, right? Are they just called a tent or camper?
Camper.
So if you have someone in boxes or a camper, let us know. Did you just wave goodbye to the pilot?
Yes.
You're not going to leave the building?
I'm not.
We just proved that leaving the building took you from tier 6, 109 to tier 5, 113.
Alright, well, let's see what not leaving the building gets us.
It's going to just get you a random island.
Okay.
I'm sure the game's random island generator isn't tiered to some...
Well, I mean, there was a thing that went around where if you, like, made googly eyes at this guy, you got a better island. That never panned out for me.
Do you really think somebody put that in the programming code?
I don't know.
Is there an emoji called Secret Handshake?
No.
Okay, so we're at a random island.
Yes.
Okay, how do we know? How many random islands are there?
I don't know.
But is this a random island, or is it just a random of a pool of islands? Like, is this Apple Orchard Island?
It doesn't have a name. We did get a DIY though, so it's not a complete loss.
Okay. Well, you found a message in a bottle.
It's a complete loss.
For a what?
Oh, decent sized fish. We'll try and catch this.
Is this your crappy pole or your good pole?
A good one. Sea bass.
Yay, fish sticks for dinner tonight. Fish sticks Friday. Or is it Friday, Fish Friday night?
I just said no fish sticks. I think we're doing shepherd's pie. Shoot.
Did you just miss that fish?
Yeah. Okay. Hopkins.
Hopkins. What is that noise?
The waterfall.
Oh, alright. Excuse me.
Alright, he's kind of homely. I already have a rabbit, unless there's something special about him.
Okay, hold on. Hopkins. Hopkins is a cranky... No, that's Penguin, sorry. Hopkins. Chops. Hopkins. Hopkins is number 85, a lazy rabbit. Tier 5.
Alright, so nothing special. That's them out of home. Full souvenirs.
So, you didn't go up a tier by staying in the building. How did you jump across that?
With my pole, I vaulted.
Oh, wow. Do you do that often?
I mean,
There's a fish to your left back there.
yeah, I saw it, but it doesn't look like anything special.
Hurting that fish's feelings. Okay, posture check. Are you in your chase? Are you chased over there?
I'm chased.
Okay, water check. Do you have your water?
I have coffee still.
Coffee. Because it's coffee chat with that. Is that the fish I just mentioned to you?
Yeah. I'm gonna show you he's nothing special.
I wanted that to be the rarest fish in the game ever right there.
Of course you do.
Because that would have been hysterical. We came this way. Where are you going?
I'm just checking the ocean one more time before I get back on the plane.
Is there going to be more than one villager per mystery island?
No, but it's raining, and I could look for one of those coelacanthus fishes, whatever they're called.
They have to be caught. That has to be caught raining on the ocean. Isn't that like a 3 to 9 or something? Time of the day?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Yeah, well, it's not 3 o'clock.
I don't know if I have any milk mile tickets left that I have to buy.
We should call it the ghost fish because it's ghosting you every time you go looking for it. All right, you going again, or are you going to leave the building? Which is it?
Alright, I have one ticket left. Hold on a second.
How do you only have one ticket? You're a bazillionaire.
Because I didn't buy a bunch.
Well, was there a limit to how many you can buy?
No. No, I can buy the coelacanth now. All day, all year, when it's raining. It's a hard one to find, though. Alright, we'll step out of the building.
Okay, hold on. This thing that I'm reading says that you should spin in a circle and then stand up and shake your booty. Then go back inside.
Okay. Walked in a circle. Shaking my booty.
Oh my god, I can't believe they have that in this game. I meant you.
Oh. That's funny.
That's hysterical. I'm over here making up stupid shit that's in your game.
Doing all the dances. Let's see what happens. It's gonna put me on Skull Island now, someone will eat me.
Gonna put you where?
On something like a Skull Island where something eats me, and that'll be the end of the game.
And to buy tickets, you have to go back to the ATM in City Hall?
Yeah.
I didn't see you walk through the gate thing. Did you skip that? Or is that only when you visit a friend's island?
I wasn't actually paying attention. Okay.
So happy Friday, everyone. We're doing coffee with Anna. Anna, what coffee are you drinking today?
I have a flat white from Starbucks.
Loaded with what is a flavoring? Or is it just
sugar-free vanilla in it?
And you're a coffee fan?
I actually don't like coffee. I like the blended drink, flavored drinks better.
And of course holding that hot cup.
Yes, that also. Okay.
And we're here with Anna playing Animal Crossing New Horizon. And what are we looking for here, Anna?
We're looking for a new villager.
And the villager that's leaving, or that left already, was Sly, a tier 6. And today we're talking cruising after COVID.
What the hell is that even? What kind of animal is this?
Is that a mouse? Is it a mouse wearing a toque?
Is it a hamster? Gerbil?
Is this the first time you've ever seen? Is this your first hamster sighting?
Hamster.
How do you know it's a hamster?
Because I'm looking at him.
Oh, you can identify hamsters?
Well, and his name is Hamfrey.
H-A-M... Hamfrey. Hamfrey is a number... hold on. H-A-M-P-H-R-E-Y is a number 90 cranky hamster.
Number
Okay.
90, which tier?
Oh, which tier? Well, hold on while I scroll up and find that out. Tier 5.
So he's nothing special. We don't have a hamster, though.
You know, his mom might have thought he was special.
Should shake a tree or two.
Do we want to know what his house looks like, or you're not taking that
What's his
chance?
house look like?
All right, so I got to go find what his house looks like now.
I wish I could find Eugene again. Eugene was one of my favorites. He's not a high tier, but I really like him.
Hamfrey he's the only cranky hamster. His name is a pun on the name Humphrey, with ham referencing his species. He has the nature hobby. Any idea what that means?
He has the what?
He has the nature hobby. What kind of fish was that?
Sea bass.
He initially wears a beige knit shirt and carries a black umbrella on rainy days. He will become angry if you disagree with him or refuse to do a favor. All right, what do you want to know about Humphrey's house?
What's it look like?
Humphrey's house has a Japanese feel to it. He owns a kotatsu, a tatami bed, and 2 bonsai. He also owns an exotic chest, a potbelly stove, and a retro stereo that plays KK Rally. In New Horizons, it very much has the same feel as the inside to it. It's got a sign, a door. Interesting looking building. You know, it would fit the theme of the island you were on yesterday.
Yeah.
With that row of restaurants and stuff.
Well, that was a very Japanese themed island.
Yeah, his thing here looks like it could fit that.
Yeah.
It's a wide door that has like a bottom third solid, and then the top 2/3 is pane glass.
I think we'll go buy some more tickets. I do like the cranky villagers, though.
And that's why today, folks, at 1 hour and 20 minutes, we're doing our 30-minute daily with Anna. Oh, my goodness. There's not been a single day where you've done this within 30 minutes.
Do you want me to just take him and end the game?
No, we don't want you to take the first available. You got to get what you want. I'm just here for the ride to observe. So, for everyone who's curious, we moved Anna from her upstairs seating area to the downstairs so that I could hook up the living room TV and then 2 monitors at my desk so that I could actually see what she's doing when she's playing this game. So we're inconveniencing her for my benefit.
I mean, it's not an inconvenience, but
But she says that when the mic's off.
I gotta buy more tickets.
Okay, so cruising after COVID.
Cruising after COVID, I think we've covered it.
We've covered it. So how do we solve the problems?
I would love it if they required everybody to be vaccinated. I would love it if they if there was minimal mask requirements.
How many people has the cruise industry come out and said we need like 50 or 10 or 22%, whatever, so that it's worth it to sail the ship?
I believe I read an article somewhere that said they need to be, and I'm pretty sure it was specific to Disney, they need to be at about 1/3 full just to break even. Oh, I already gave her something.
But the cruise line would be happy to have 1/3 sailings?
I mean, I don't know if they would be happy. They're not making any money at that point. I would think they would want a minimum of 50% just so they can make some money.
Okay, but if Biden gave cruise industry 3 thumb snaps in a circle right now, these cruise ships can't sail today because they're all under overhaul?
A lot of them are. Royal Caribbean has come out publicly and said that from the word go to fully gear up, they would need about 90 days. So right now, I think the CDC no sale order goes until May. So let's say that was lifted as of May the 1st. It would still be, over the summer before Royal Caribbean could be back up and fully operational. That's not to say there wouldn't be cruises sailing. But again, a lot of cruising is going to be dependent on ports, you know, like what's going to be required. Let's say I could get on a Disney cruise ship today, not vaccinated, with just a negative COVID test. I have to wear a mask. That might not be the rule in the Bahamas, or it might not be the rule to go to, you know, one of the European sailings. It's definitely, like, Canada has banned cruising right now. So where is this cruise ship going to take me?
Does a cruise to nowhere just solve a lot of these problems? That it's the same as any other restaurant leaving Port Canaveral in Florida?
I mean, it solves some of the problems, but you know, a lot of the maintenance on a ship takes place while they're in port. So how is that going to impact the cruise industry if their first few months of sailing is only cruises to nowhere? Is that going to allow for the intensive level of cleaning they're probably going to have to do because of COVID?
Does the state of Florida does Florida want cruising back?
Of course they do.
But why? How much business is cruising actually bring into Florida? Overnight hotel stay the day before the cruise?
Well, here's the thing. Florida wants cruising back. Key West does not want cruising. They don't want ships to stop there. And I think the Florida legislature may have just overruled that. Like, a vote was taken in Key West, and overwhelmingly, you might want to Google that, overwhelmingly the people did not want cruise ships back at Key West.
Okay, so again, let's just clarify for everybody. There is a restriction on vessels leaving U.S. ports. For if a ship wants to come to a U.S. port, undock and then redock at any other U.S. port, direct. It has to have been built in the U.S., flagged in the United States, never had its flag changed, and owned in the U.S. That restriction is very difficult to do because no one's building cruise ships in the United States. So your ship from Port Canaveral can't go directly to Key West without some waiver. But why would the people of Key West not want the cruise ship to show up?
Okay, wait a minute. So how do they do that? Because I know that we have gotten on a ship in Miami and gone to Key West.
Well, you get a waiver as part of its... It also sails out into waters and...
Is this a gorilla? A baboon?
Where are you at?
I'm on an island.
Oh, I gotta look up another name?
I didn't get to him yet. Let's see what this fish is.
Go, girl. Oh, I thought you were pole vaulting over.
No, I wanted to see what this fish was first.
So is this going to be a river fish?
Alrighty. Boone.
How do you spell it?
B-O-O-N-E.
Boone. Boone is a jock gorilla. Tier 5, 118. Did you not literally just get rid of one of these?
I I just got rid of a jock. I have a jock gorilla.
You got rid of a jock alligator.
Alligator.
Did you leave the airport and shake your booty before you came back in?
That's what I did. That's probably why I got this. I should not have shaken
No,
it.
that would have gotten you a sailor, a happy sailor. Do they have those in this game? Okay, so, yeah. Does Key West want cruising back is what you want me to verify.
No, I know the people of Key West do not, but I thought something was just on the news the other day that
Must be this size to travel. Key West limits votes to limit big cruise ships. Limit cruise visitors to 1,500 a day. This was
as
back
you
in
know-
January. Florida considering bill to reverse the Key West ship ban. So apparently the voters in November voted to put a ban on the size of ships that could come back into Key West. So I cannot find where it has been overturned yet. So the city held 3 referendums on the same day. All 3 votes passed. So one of the arguments was made that the cruise ships that carry less passengers have passengers that spend more per dollar than the bigger cruise ships.
well, I mean, it makes sense because it's a more expensive cruise.
So the argument is that if you have a bigger cruise ship with bigger people, you get less spend per dollar, and the cruise ship does damage to the environment as it comes into port. All of those seem pretty reasonable arguments to discuss that don't sound like some pandemic COVID fear.
No, but I think having the port closed because of COVID allowed them to have that discussion.
Okay, so the 3 votes were a daily cap on cruise visitors at 1,500. The ban the docking of cruise vessels carrying 1,300 or more passengers. And the third was to prioritize docking for cruise lines with the highest environmental and health standards. So the first 2 got 61%, that one got 80%. So definitely people were influenced by an environmental view.
I was supposed to be on a cruise in January that went to Key West.
So even the guy who had the bill, they tried to do this before COVID-19, but they admitted that because the cruise ship stopped, it gave everybody a chance to go, wait, this is what it's like without a cruise ship here every day. Not to bring up 9/11, but I mean, after 9/11, we certainly noticed a lack of airplanes
Yeah.
when you live near an airplane, corridor. So maybe if it's, COVID's the same thing. These people got to see no cruise ships every single day, and people started looking out across those, the rooftops going, where's that building that's always there? Because, I mean, a cruise ship can be visual pollution for people.
And honestly, I would say that Key West doesn't need cruise ships. I think a lot of their revenue is generated by, you know, bars and restaurants, and for the most part, cruisers aren't going there to sit and drink in a bar from 2 in the afternoon until 2 in the morning. Alright, we might just have to take whoever's on this island.
Are you calling it? You're going to take a tenant too? Is that where we're at? Because you're heading towards 2 hours here, girl. It would be a tenant too.
What the hell is that?
What's a tenant too?
What the hell is that creature?
Is that a yellow and red flower?
It's a weed.
It's a what?
This is a cow.
Norma. What's the cow's name?
Norma. See, I have that personality. And I don't love it. I should have taken the cranky nails. Did you find Norma? Or did you not even look?
I'm still looking. Unfortunately, going through the list searching for Norma, I also have to go through every normal personality. So you're going to have to give me a second. Or you're going to have to hire a non-visually impaired person to look your shit up.
What's the fun in that?
Okay, I found them. Norma is a normal cow. I don't know if you knew they were a cow, but they're a cow. They are number 13. Do you care about tier?
Sure.
Tier 12. They are tier 5. So, looking at everything that you've been presented today, you've had a 113, an 85, a 90, a 118, and now you're up to a tier 5, number 13. That's how far you've made it. So once again, I just want to remind everybody, we're doing Coffee with Anna. Anna is talking about cruising after COVID while she's playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, and she needs a villager. If you play Animal Crossing New Horizons and you have a villager in boxes
I feel like you're begging for a villager.
or visiting you in a tent, please let us know. We'd be happy to come tour your island. Well, I'm not the one looking for a villager, it's you. I mean, we don't have to take a villager today, right?
It will be automatically filled by Tom Nook if I don't.
Okay, but you're getting nothing special here, so... And can you kick them out if you don't like them?
No.
Okay, well, I'm just reminding you. You have a tier 5, number 13. We hoping to get to tier 4? We hoping for... What are we looking for? She's gone, never to be seen again.
I don't know what I'm looking for. I like something that's not awful to look at. I tend to prefer cranky villagers, I think.
You've had those.
I have, but they haven't been cute. I was tempted by the hamster. That's the only one I've really been tempted by.
How many more tickets do you have?
I think I have 2 after this one.
Okay, yesterday when you went to visit someone's island, you had to walk through the turnstile there and the light came on and stuff.
Alright, so you don't walk through.
So apparently it's when you go to visit someone else's island then. Maybe. Is he wearing a blue umbrella?
He has a blue umbrella, yes.
With a dodo on it.
Yes.
Do you have one of those?
Don't know.
You don't even have an umbrella. Maybe that's why you're not getting good islanders. They're running away from you because you're a crazy girl running around without an umbrella. You don't even have a raincoat on. It's Peppa
What?
Pig.
What?
It's Peppa Pig.
It is not Peppa Pig. It's a lion. I have a lion. Rex.
Okay, and what are you saying Rex is before I look it up?
A lion.
Okay, everybody, time to touch your toes, or at least wiggle them. Rex is a lazy lion, which is more appropriate to a species because lions are the lazier between lions and lionesses. Okay, Rex is number 62. Tier 5.
Every single one has been tier 5.
Yes, it has. I've been making a list here. Every single one of them has been tier 5. Maybe they just don't like your COVID talk about cruising. You currently have the number 1 most popular islander in the game.
Got another Oar Fish.
Wow, look at that. So now can you do something like turn it into a museum or something because you've gotten 2 of them?
I've already got one in the museum. But they sell for a decent amount of money.
The number 1 most popular island creature is currently the smug squirrel Marshall.
I have Marshall.
Yes.
I love Marshall.
There are 2 deer on the list, Eric and Bo.
I have Eric.
You have Eric. So you have 2 of the tier 1 rarest creatures, most popular creatures.
I also had Sherb up until about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so you have Marshall, Raymond.
No, I don't have Raymond.
Tell me if you have any of these. You lost Raymond?
I've never had Raymond.
Okay,
Never seen
Zucker,
him. No.
Sherb.
Had it. Twice. I had Sherb twice.
Okay, Fauna,
No. No.
Stitches,
Nope.
Marina.
No.
Anka,
No.
Meringue,
No.
Molly,
Nope.
Lolly,
Nope.
Dolly,
No.
Folly.
No.
How long can he go until she catches on, Holly?
No.
Audie,
No.
Eric,
I have Eric.
and Bo.
No.
So you've had, or currently have, 3 of the top 15 Tier 1 creatures. And you were offered Maple yesterday, which is a normal bear cub. Number 1 on the Tier 2 list. She actually just fell out of Tier 1.
Oh, I'm out of tickets. How am I out of tickets?
Because you've taken 8 island trips here.
Damn. All right, I'm only buying 2 tickets.
2 more and that's it. So we're taking...
Either the next one or the one after that. If the next one is really hideous.
Okay.
We're making the commitment. We're done.
Okay. So we're going for the 2 for 10 as our last resort. We ain't going home empty.
What is 2 for 10? What does that even mean?
2 for 10, a 10 at 2.
What is that?
That means you pick up some date at a bar at 2 in the morning. That's a 10. And then at 10 in the morning when you wake up in bed and realize who you're with, they're a 2. They're a 10 at 2 and a 2 at 10.
That's disgusting.
Well, it's the thing about being drunk at a bar picking up the last call. I mean, literally, that's what you're doing here. You're at the bar going, last call for alcohol. I'll take any creature here that's left. You're coming home with me to my island. I don't care what you are.
I could do this all day. I have stuff to do.
Oh my God. But that's what you're doing, right? Look, it's girls' night at the bar. It's happy hour. I don't care. Who's ever here, you're coming home to my island with me. Next morning, you're walking around the island going, who is this ugly villager that I've invited in?
All right, this next one is going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Going to be perfect, huh? Okay, so
There's Chrissy. Let me give her an apple.
whether the Florida state legislature overrides the voter referendum of the people of Key West, which again, this sounds very much like a NIMBY kind of thing.
A NIMBY kind of thing.
Yeah, not in my backyard. What did you say? You know, we moved here to Key West and it's beautiful and lovely and there have been cruise ships because we cruised here once and we decided to stay. Now that we're here, we don't want the cruise ships. You know, not in my backyard. I bought a house near the airport. Of course I'll sign the petition to ban airplane noise. I'm just saying this would make a great Alcatraz themed island game. People would come to see it. Come see the Alcatraz themed island. Do you have a little like police girl uniform you can walk around with to be like the warden? Is there like
I actually don't think I do.
a nightstick you could twirl? Or rather, you know, like a billy club, something?
No.
Can you dress your villagers?
No. I mean, yeah, you can give them clothes.
So what if we give all your villagers a prison uniform? Is there a prison uniform or striped pajamas?
There may be striped pajamas.
Okay, here we are, try number 8.
I'm afraid to even walk off of here.
Okay, here we are, try number 8. We're back at apparently Apple Orchard Island. Why are you walking so slow?
Nervous.
So could it be a marshal on the island? And can you have 2 marshals on your island?
What the hell?
Is this a cow?
Naomi?
Naomi. N-A...
Naomi.
N-A-O-M-I.
Yes.
Okay, Naomi. Now, do you know what Naomi is?
It's a cow.
Okay, Naomi is a snooty cow. Naomi is tier... Guess what tier it is?
Is it 5?
No.
What?
Tier 6.
Is there even a tier 6?
Yes. Naomi is a tier 6 snooty cow.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I can't have that. I'm not even going to shake trees. I'm getting right back on it.
Her Japanese name is a stereotypical name for rustic country girls in Japan. Her initial phrase is a pun on the sound cows make, moo, and moolah, a way some people say money, referencing that most snooty villagers have a luxurious lifestyle. Her English name might refer to Naomi Campbell. Do you want to know what her house looked like?
No. It's too late.
It was a cute little building that matched yours with a green, like the thing that looked like sliced bamboo. Like the rounded tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interior of her house was... she has a double bed. She has a leather couch for 2. She has a writing desk, a makeup mirror, an armoire, and a grandfather clock. She wears the groovy tee, which is sold at Grace, whatever Gracie is. What is Grace? She loves makeup and gossiping. She will first appeal rude, talking about her own experiences. She will be gossipy about other female villagers. She will not get along with lazy villagers.
Speaking of cruising, the $1,400 stimulus funds are to start hitting bank accounts this weekend.
Cool. Okay, here we are at try number 9. This looks
Try
like...
number 9?
This is the deforestation island, apparently. Yes, we've been keeping track here for 2 hours of all your tries.
Oh, I don't want this one. Looks like a sheep. The hell is it? Is it a sheep? A ram?
Is it a ram? The name is Dom. Okay, what do we think Dom is?
A jock.
How do you know?
He's a jock. God damn it.
Ooh, oh, we want Dom.
We do?
Yes.
Why?
Dom is a jock sheep. Dom, what tier do you think Dom is?
7?
They're number 2 on the list in tier 2. Did we want to know what they look like?
I just saw him. I know what he looks like.
Dom is a pink-skinned sheep with white wool and pink horns. He has large, sparkling black eyes and 2 white dots. His hooves are white. His
I don't
initial
know how
shirt
to-
is the tie-dye tee. He apparently was in pocket camp also.
I know.
He's very interested in his hobby. Jock villagers get along with peppy, cranky, and sisterly villagers, but conflict with lazy. His house is... He has an outdoor theme with the clouds that you were just admiring the other day. But he very much looks like an outdoor garden theme. He has a picnic basket, a lawnmower. His flooring is the yard. His house looks like a log cabin.
Alright, am I taken down?
I'm not telling you nothing.
Come on. Come on.
Do you get these Sparkle Stone friendship rewards, or is that a different game?
I don't know what that is. Alright, I said I would just take whoever was here.
You
so.
did say that. And you now have a tier 2, number 2 villager on your island. So you've gone up from a tier 6.
Oh my god.
Did you have to come up with a nickname for each other?
No.
When does that happen?
Later on.
Did you just say Muya?
Sorta.
What was it?
Wow, yes.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody, can we have shouts and cheers in chat? Because I don't really know how to do that or what makes that possible, so... Yay! You got yourself a 2 at 2. Oh my goodness. 2 hours to do a daily and talk about coffee and COVID. So what's your closing remark for people who got their, since you brought stimulus checks? I got my stimulus check. Should I go book a cruise?
Book a cruise, buy a dining room table. Alright, now you see our thing says sold.
Oh, it does. Does it
And
tell
there's
us?
construction material on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, and it says reserved.
Yes.
All right.
Alright,
Are we officially done for the day?
we're done.
All right. So, is it safe for people to go back to cruising?
I think it will be. I think it will be abundantly safe. Having said that, there are new lawsuits being filed every day by families that were impacted by COVID while they were on cruises last March,
One of which we are.
of which we are. Lawsuits from families who were on that ship, including one that was on the ship that we were impacted by, who was not allowed off the ship until the same day that the, I don't know how much information you want out there, but
I don't think we should talk about it. It's a depressing sort of topic. And if we're going to do that, that needs to be a separate chat. We're talking about cruising after COVID.
I would definitely say cruise. I think there will be no safer time to cruise than after we get back from COVID.
All right. So, if anybody wants to say goodbye in chat or any last minute comments, if you just want to say shut up, Bridget, in chat, now's your time. Thank you, everybody, for listening.